Welcome back to another episode of what's happening in the F1 news, silly season, whatever you might think. So, without further ado, let's go with the first thing. Season end legal dispute. We know we have been discussing this for a couple of weeks already. Christian Horner has been raising his voice for the budget cap based on the inflation and transportation price that is increasing thanks to the war and the situation with the pandemic and everything. The same way that other teams like Mercedes, for example, are complaining about porpoising, and Red Bull says that they don't have any problem with that. Christian Horner is doing actually the same thing as Toto Wolff is doing, just with a different matter, right? Toto Wolff is complaining about the porpoising, saying it's not safe and whatever, and Christian Horner says like, oh, so raise the car. So with the budget cap, other teams like Alpine or Alfa Romeo are saying the same thing. Just control your stuff, or don't bring any updates to the races. So anyway, he is complaining, same way that Toto Wolff is complaining, and same way that other teams are complaining about different things. And he feels that there might be some legal dispute for the championship in court. Something, for example, Mercedes didn't do last year with the theft that there was. But anyway, maybe there will be some stuff saying that because they went over the budget cap, they don't deserve the championship. I don't know. Well, yeah, what I mean, like if you go over the budget, there should be a huge penalty for it, right? I think everybody agrees with that. All the other teams that were inside the budget, like Ferrari, for example, if he stays inside the budget and loses the championship because they didn't bring updates to the races and blah blah blah, is it fair? I mean, there should be like, I don't know, point penalties or something. So probably Red Bull is hinting already that they will go to court to try to regain or keep the championship that they won on track. Is it legal? The winning by achieving the cap or going over the cap? Je ne sais pas. We will see what happens at the end of the season. Anyway, Judy Vips, we said last week he had some racial stuff happening in one of his online Twitch streams or whatever. Said the word N or black or nigga or something like this, which I'm saying just as a reference. I'm not saying it. So there was an investigation. He was sidelined. Now apparently Red Bull has come to the conclusion that calling somebody black or nigga is not okay, which is judge by yourselves if it's okay or not, depending on the context. So he got fired, sacked, terminated immediately. So he will not be racing for Red Bull anymore. What will happen with his career? Well, he has it a little bit complicated, right? I mean, in the world today, saying something like that might get you in a big trouble. Getting fired from one team, will other teams hire him? Even though he apologized already for it. So we'll see what happens with Judy Vips and who will actually go in his shoes now in the Red Bull team. Gasly is staying in Alpha Tauri. This was announced last week. He will be staying in Alpha Tauri, and this actually is closing a big part of the silly season, which kind of there was a chain linked to Gasly, what was going to happen, like for example with Albon, who was going to Williams, to whatever. Why did he choose to stay there? Well, there were not very big choices to take from the grid, right? He had the McLaren, which is not performing very well, and he had Aston Martin, for example, which it's kind of a question mark, right? I mean, they are there, but they are not there. They're bringing updates, they are trying new cars and big stuff, which by the way they are bringing to Silverstone, same as Mercedes. They will bring a big new package. So he can stay in Alpha Tauri, which is kind of like based on the midfield, with thanks to the relation also they have with Red Bull. So they are kind of guaranteed to be there, right? And perhaps see what Lewis Hamilton or Fernando Alonso are going to do. Are they going to continue for 2024? Perhaps if this Mercedes seat is available, Gasly could join, according to the British media. Gasly could be joining Mercedes if Hamilton leaves. So, this being said, how is the grid for next year? This Red Bull lineup is confirmed after he signed the contract for 2 years, so 2023 and 4. This is going to be the lineup of Red Bull. These two also have contracts for 23 and 24, so no changes there. Same like here, they both have contracts until 2020, the end of 2023. What will happen with him? There's a lot of criticism, by the way, coming to Hamilton, saying that he should retire, he's not motivated, he's not showing this enthusiastic character that, for example, Russell is showing by performing well and keeping his mouth shut about the car and just keep the head down and keep pushing, right? So yeah, this is also confirmed. Well, Yuki Tsunoda is not confirmed, but I mean, he's performing quite well this season, except for the accident in Canada. But he is kind of confirmed, so Alpha Tauri will remain like this, especially like checking how the Red Bull Juniors are performing. The McLaren will have testing in Silverstone Daruvala, the Indian guy, so that he can get the super license for the F1. But I highly doubt he will be joining F1 anywhere. Tsunoda is there, kind of confirmed. Daruvala doesn't look like it. So McLaren. Norris has a multi-year contract, as we saw many times before in my channels. And Ricciardo. Looks like McLaren wants to get rid of him because he's not performing as well as he is expected to be performing, right? So where is he gonna go? Who are they gonna bring in? There is no drivers out there that could fit in the shoes for him. Like perhaps Albon could go, and he could go to Williams. So maybe actually, seeing that getting rid of Ricciardo would mean that they would have to pay him, maybe he will stay in McLaren after all. So silly season, not very clear. Alonso looks like it's gonna renew with Alpine. Ocon already has the contract, so this will be the Alpine lineup. Alfa Romeo, Bottas has the contract, and Guan Yu Zhou, even though has the contract for 1 year and being an Alpine driver academy, the races that he's finishing, he's not doing it that bad, considering that he's the only rookie this season. So perhaps if he can perform and stay with Bottas whenever he doesn't have any issues, he might be staying in Alfa Romeo. The other option for Alfa Romeo would be Theo Pourchaire. Theo Pourchaire is an F2, he's performing quite well. It's the Alfa Romeo or Sauber Academy driver, so if Joe does not continue, probably Theo Pourchaire will be joining the team. If not, Giovinazzi back to Alfa Romeo. We already saw Kevin Magnussen coming back, so. And Aston Martin, he's not confirmed, but let's face it, he is there. And the question is here. Vettel is kind of giving signs that his F1 career, life right now, stage is kind of contradictory with the message that he's trying to send of green, eco, whatever. Aston Martin has already openly stated that they want him to stay for the next 1, 2, 3 years with the team. Apparently he is helping a lot developing the car, for example, right? The other option if he leaves is that Aston Martin, as I mentioned before, he wants a German driver to fit in the shoes. Nico Hülkenberg is the reserve driver for Aston Martin, but against him plays that he has been outside for 2 years already, fitting in the shoes for Perez and Vettel whenever they were sick, also for Stroll. So Mick Schumacher could be one of the alternatives, perhaps in a better team. Mick Schumacher can perform better. Doesn't have a lot of budget, as much as Aston Martin, for example. So that could be an alternative. So Kevin Magnussen has the contract for next year, right? So who will be here, seeing that Gunther Steiner is criticizing Mick Schumacher so much? Mick Schumacher has been placed in Haas thanks to Ferrari. Ferrari was the one that placed Mick Schumacher there, right? Schumacher has the contract with Ferrari, not with Haas, actually. So who could go there? An alternative, if for example Guan Yu Zhou doesn't go to, or Guan Yu Zhou continues in Sauber, would be Theo Pourchaire coming here, or Marcus Armstrong, a Ferrari Academy driver. Having a Ferrari Academy driver in Haas would mean that they could get some discounts with the engine, for example, on other parts that Haas is buying from Ferrari. So probably would be a Ferrari Academy driver. Giovinazzi has the experience, has been outside for 1 year only. So could be an alternative. Theo Porcher, maybe. Perhaps Wang Yuzhou himself could be joining here, right? I mean, Chinese market behind him. It's gonna be a big push. And Williams Racing looks like Piastri has already signed the contract. They said it was in Monaco, signed with Williams for next year, and if Latifi doesn't perform well, perhaps earlier than that. Remember, I said many times that usually driver changes happen after the mid-season, after the Hungarian Grand Prix. And Albon, well, he's performing quite well for the team. I think the team are quite happy with him. Red Bull are happy that he has the experience in F1 and everything. And the Alpha Tauri and Red Bull teams are locked. So why leave the team when actually Albon doesn't have any other options? He could go to Aston Martin, but I don't think Aston Martin is interested in the Thai driver, right? And McLaren could be an option also if they sack Ricciardo. Perhaps a change with Ricciardo, Williams, McLaren, Albon and Ricciardo could be an option. But I think Albon is going to stay in Williams alongside with Piastri. And if Albon is not there, looks like De Vries is not gonna be joining anytime soon the F1. He did a free practice, but looks like he's trying to break the contract with Mercedes so he can do other stuff. Looks like he wants to be alternating WEC and Formula E. Right, silly season. Well, there is no silly season except for example, there are rumors that F1 only wants to keep 8 Grand Prix in Europe and have all the rest outside of Europe in the world, having like 4 in the USA next year, 3 or 4. So they seem to be wanting to sack Spa. For me, it's a crime to sack Spa. There are other racetracks like Barcelona, Hungary, Monaco should be out of F1 before Spa. Spa is the best racetrack of the calendar. Why are they even thinking? They didn't sign the contract yet, so rumors are that Spa might be getting out. Team principals are actually saying, okay, so if they don't sign and they don't pay, take it out of the calendar. Are you crazy, man? Everybody is waiting for Spa in the calendar to come. Usually there's so interesting races happening there. Even if it's raining, even if it's sunny, there's always something happening. It's like a racetrack for best drivers where you can actually shine. I mean, it's the best racetrack of the calendar, and they want to take it away so they can bring other stuff. Like Kyalami, for example. Really? Las Vegas? I really don't understand, and I really hope they don't bring Belgium out. They should make an exception as they do with Monaco. Like they should pay a little less canon. The big problem with Belgium is that they don't have the capability to pay the canon that F1 requires to be in the calendar, right? Like all the other racetracks. So I really hope they don't. But anyway, I already showed the contract things before when I mentioned about the teams. Anyway, I just put it here for everybody to know. And today we have the question. Actually, I would put another question as well, but does Gasly actually make the right choice by staying in Alpha Tauri for the next season, trying to wait for a bigger team to jump to the front of the grid? And should Belgium be sided away or put aside by the F1? For me, the answer is a big no, but anyway. Take it easy. See you soon. We have a Silverstone this weekend. Many teams are gonna be bringing big stuff to the Grand Prix because all the factories are in the UK. So logistically speaking, this is the Grand Prix to bring everything. Mercedes are gonna be bringing big stuff. Aston Martin, everyone except for Ferrari, which is in Italy. But anyway, so see you Friday before the free practice, and take it easy. Perhaps I should do this.